I have an important question for all of you. And I bet you can guess what it is because it's sitting there right on the screen. The question is, where does law come from? What gives the government authority to tell you what you can and can't do? This is one of those questions that some people never think about. They just follow the laws, do what they're supposed to do, and have a good life. It's also one of those questions that some people think a lot about. Many people obsess over where the law comes from and what gives the government authority to tell each of us what we can and what we can't do. There's two broad theories about where law comes from. The first is called positivism, and the second is called natural law. Now, these aren't the only theories. These are just the two broadest theories that sort of encapsulate many other theories about what gives government authority. The positivist theory is that law comes from the sovereign, meaning the king, or the president, or whoever else is in authority, regardless of how they gained authority, right? That's the problem with a king. We didn't vote for him. We feel a little bit better about a president because we voted for them. But law comes from the sovereign. In the United States, laws come from a legislature who are elected by the people. But under positivism, we recognize that the lawmaker's command is legitimate. So whether you live in a country with a king or a bicameral legislative system like the United States and many other countries, positivism recognizes the lawmaker's command. What the lawmaker says is legitimate. We don't need any other reasons to believe that the law is legitimate other than it was given by the lawmaker. And then the third big concept with positivism is that morality is not important. Meaning, even if a law seems immoral, it's still legitimate because it was commanded by the lawmaker. Contrast that with natural law, which says that law is based on a universal moral order. Whether from God or from the universe, the law comes from a universal order, one that each of us could understand if we're in tune with it. Law is not made, it is discovered. So when we make good laws, we're not creating them ourselves, we're finding them. We're finding rules that are in tune with this universal moral order. And if a lawmaker makes a law that is not in tune with this moral order, then it's not legitimate. And the people are not required to follow it. I imagine you can see positive things and negative things about both of these ideas. The most obvious one with positivism is this concern that we don't want to trust anybody as having complete and total command and legitimization. And with natural law, the danger with that is anarchy. If the people refuse to recognize any law as legitimate, then where are we at? And that's why most systems in the world have some form of positivism that is backed up by natural law. What I mean by that is, for example, in the United States, we believe in the rule of law. We believe the legislature has the right to create laws and the president signs them in. In the states, we believe the state legislatures can make law and the governors can sign them in. And we believe those laws have legitimacy because they were created. But we also have a process by which, when a law is unconscionable, we can fight those laws. We recognize that the legislators are not infallible or all-powerful, and that while we may follow the laws they create, we can also challenge them. And in some cases, we even recognize it as a moral thing for someone to conscientiously object. Like I said, these two theories, the idea of positivism and natural law, deeply underlie the way we govern ourselves here in the United States and in many nations all across the world.